This episode of SpectreSoundStudios is brought to you by Nail the Mix. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to SMG Viewers Comments episode number 78. Let's get right to it.
I wish I had awesome rock music out when I was in my teen years. Had fucking Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, and Hinder. Yuck.
I don't know, are you aware of this thing called the internet where you can go look up other bands and maybe check stuff out that isn't being played on the radio? I mean, did you miss that? Look, I understand, yeah. Nobody's gonna fault you for saying that bands like Fall Out Boy suck, because, yeah, they do. There's a lot of metal stuff out there you can check out with just a little bit of research. But we do understand and we do sympathize because, you know, nobody should have to grow up with Fall Out Boy.
Glenn, do you have any recommendations for people who have full-time jobs and are recording a 10-song album for their band? Where do we find the time?
Considering I've had a full-time job and I've run a studio for 18 years, you make time. You give up less important things like video games or dating or having a family, that sort of thing. I mean, like, if you're gonna do music full-time, do music full-time. Don't dabble, fucking go for it. You're only standing in your own way. Make it happen, man.
Just sounds like you're being the cunt. It's not them that are being dicks. I guess it's not logical, but you didn't have to slag them off this much.
Oh, clearly you have never worked in the music industry, have you? Yes, we do have to slag them off this much because nobody fucking calls out bullshit anymore. Everybody's special. Everybody gets a trophy for participation. Fuck that shit. You want to play music? Step the fuck up. You think the music industry is bad? Why don't you go into a kitchen and a restaurant and listen to what the staff is saying about the customers?
Hey Glenn, what do you think of punk music?
I think it's fucking great. Depends on what kind of punk you're talking about, though. I mean, like, you're talking about the original punk, or you're talking about, the pop punk thing? Because I wouldn't really consider Blink-182 really punk. I mean, like, when I think punk, I think bands like the Sex Pistols or a Hamilton band that I grew up with called the Forgotten Rebels. Those guys were a huge influence to me and my friends when we were little kids and whatnot. During that whole 70s, early 80s punk thing. And that was really cool. I mean, like, Black Flag, there's a fucking great punk band. I like punk that's played with intensity, that's played by people who mean what the fuck they're doing. Absolutely. And it's not being played so much for a dollar sign. The fact that there's a big punk resurgence in the mid-90s, I mean, like, it's more of a pop punk thing. It was cool to a certain extent, but there were 80 million bands out there trying to sound exactly like Blink-182, and that got pretty stale pretty quick. But as for the original punk, hell yeah, I still crank up Pretty Vacant all the time. So this show's sponsor is Nail the Mix. It's an online recording school where you get your hands on real multi-tracks by bands such as Periphery, Machine Head, and Gojira. This month's project is the track Fragments by Jason Richardson, and Taylor Larson takes you through his mix, detailing how he did it. This one's really intense with an extremely challenging song to mix. If you want to step up your mixing game, sign up for this month's Nail the Mix and learn how to put this track together, including 3 different guitar tones per side, all with different gear. The best mix of the month will win every single JST plugin, including the brand new ToneForge Jason Richardson edition. Check it out at nailthemix.com. Back to the show.
Hey Glenn, what's your favorite Judas Priest song?
That is an absolutely impossible question for me to answer because I've asked myself that question many, many times before, and I've never been able to come up with an absolute favorite. My favorite Priest album was Sad Wings of Destiny by far, but for an actual favorite song, I don't have one. Here are some of my top favorites, though, would be, Victim of Changes, Dreamer, Deceiver. That whole 2-part suite was magnificent songwriting. Beyond the Realms of Death, The Hellion Electric Eye, Painkiller, pretty much anything on British Steel. Yeah. The list goes on and on and on. There's just so many great songs. It's completely impossible for me to pick a favorite. You guys who might not know a lot of Priest music, yeah, go check out some of those tracks. That's some really amazing stuff to check out.
Agami Gi Kill. Swords, beasts, robots, and tits.
Dude, that sounds like the perfect anime. I am in.
One of the best things ever for documenting things like amp settings and mic placement, use your fucking camera on your fucking phone. Seriously, use a ruler in the picture if you need to for perspective on mic placement. But seriously, with Dropbox and Google Drive now, you can achieve and organize images by project, and it's super easy to pull back up when you need it. It's in your fucking pocket, use it.
That's a magnificent suggestion. Actually, I'm definitely on board with you in a lot of ways for that. Yeah, I totally agree. I like the Google Drive idea and storing everything into a folder. I'm definitely going to steal that idea. But one thing I'm always doing, like when I'm miking up drums and changing configurations and whatnot, is I'm actually taking pictures of my patch bay out in the drum room and seeing what mics are plugged into what preamps, and that way when I'm pulling stuff up in Reaper and setting my tracks to certain inputs, I know exactly what's going where. That certainly takes a lot of the guesswork out of things, and I don't have to write everything down. So before I got a cell phone, this is what I used to do, and you can see stuff going back like 2008. These are like 5150 settings for different records I'd done. I started taking these in 2004, I think, and I've got a whole nother book just full of amp settings. So yeah, taking pictures definitely streamlines a lot of stuff. So there you go. Definitely use your cell phone camera. It's there. Use it.
Glenn, love the channel. My buddies and I record for fun sometimes and want to start to mic live drums. I, for one, appreciate the budget mic demos you do. Not everyone wants to spend a month's salary on mics just to play around with. Thanks for all you do, man.
Well, thanks so much for watching. And I do understand not everybody's got a lot of money to throw around. That's why I do test for budget gear, because I understand a lot of you guys are in that situation where you don't necessarily have thousands and thousands of dollars to spend on gear. But yeah, for what it's worth, I thought for the price, yeah, the Samson stuff was pretty good. I definitely want to check out some more budget drum mics. When I do finish those demos, I will be more than happy to give those sets away.
Hell yeah, Frickers Fuck You of the Week. Love your channel, dude, but I kind of miss the old Screaming Glenn, LOL.
Funny you should ask about that. Frickers Fuck You of the Week is dedicated to this guy.
This channel is nothing but a series of commercials now. Used to love your content, but I don't need to listen to you constantly trying to sell products for other manufacturers like the filthy, money-hungry whore you've become. Very sad indeed. I'll be unsubscribing, and I hope others will follow suit.
What do you mean, filthy, money-hungry whore I've become? Dude, I've always been one. Where the fuck have you been? Seriously, dude, I am trying to do YouTube for a living, and that does mean taking the occasional sponsorship. I don't mind, turning you guys onto cool products, especially something like Nail the Mix, which is teaching people how to get better at mixing. I think that's a great idea. Anything that's going to help educate you guys, I think is worthwhile taking a sponsorship from. Yeah, seriously, man, you do understand money does make the world go round, and I do need to earn a living. So, if you've got some better suggestions on how to make a living without taking sponsorships from YouTube, I'm all ears. All right, that's all we've got time for this episode. Make sure to check out Nail the Mix, and if you're going to be at NAMM from the 19th on, make sure to check out the Joey Sturgis Tones booth. I'll be doing a couple of appearances there, as well as helping represent Chicken Picks and Rev Amplification. If you see me on the floor, come say hi. I've got time for that. Take it easy, guys. Have a great weekend. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this episode. If you like the content, please support the channel either at my SMG shop or through my Patreon. If you want to see more, hit one of the playlists. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here. Now 80 million emo kids are going to write in and cry. Do you know why you don't see any emo kids around anymore? Because it's a suicide culture.